Hey everybody, Andrew Morgan here, and I'm joined with John Newman of Continuity Focus, and we have a 3-4 minute segment. We wanted to talk to you about security architecture, mainly around the Appgate SDP solution. John, before we do, tell us a little about yourself and Continuity.
I'm John. I'm the CTO of Continuity Focus. We are a security integrator and managed service provider.
Cool. John, we were talking the other day, and you said, when you look at solutions, it's what does right look like? And in terms of Appgate, that struck a positive chord or your checkbox. Can you tell us a little bit about that and from a security architecture standpoint, if you would?
Sure. So we have a sense of what right looks like around foundational security principles. And I think a lot of what that comes down to right now is whether a company is using zero trust predominantly as a marketing strategy versus a engineering and operating philosophy. So, for us, conditional access, strong attack surface mitigations, thoughtful implementation of least privilege. Those are really foundational elements of good security design, and we look for that in the products that we choose to work with and in the partners we choose to have. And when we asked questions within our evaluation of Appgate, we were happy with the answers we got. We thought they reflected thought and diligence from an engineering standpoint, as opposed to arm waving from a sales standpoint. And we asked those questions to all of our potential partners. The ones that we really want to work with and choose to work with are the ones where we feel that they appreciate that we asked because they're proud of their work, as opposed to being offended that we asked because we should just trust them and it was good enough for someone else to buy it, so why won't we buy it?
I love that, John. It reminds me of asking somebody about, hey, tell us about your security, secure coding principles and your AppSec, and people are like excited versus offended. So it resonates well on what good looks like or what right looks like.
In everything, everyone, every company, every product is a work in progress. So, what we appreciate is, are they working towards the right goals? Right. And are they candid about where they are and where they're going? Yeah. And that to me, that's the foundation of a good, partnership, because we're not buying the product for today's use. We're buying it hopefully for the long term.
Yeah. Really good points. So SSL VPN, John, this is an important thing for you. Why doesn't that sit right?
So SSL VPNs, really, they all come down to there's no secure web server. Every web server has its vulnerabilities. So to use a web server as your perimeter security platform, to us, that creates a lot of anxiety. So the idea of having your firewall to run an SSL VPN off your firewall, to us, it's even worse, because now you're exposing a pretty integral part of your security stack, most vulnerable interface to the untrusted internet. So for us, part of what we liked about Appgate, even though it is SSL based, SPA really was to us a useful way of mitigating the attack surface of the web server. So that was one of the things that we liked about Appgate, was that we got a lot of the benefits of an SSL architecture, but without some of the risks from essentially unmitigated public exposure.
Yeah, really cool. John, close us out with obviously for an MSSP, you need a program that's suited for the way we do business. What was it about Appgate for you?
So my first conversation with Appgate, the MSP program was in its very early stages, but just sitting down and talking to the person who was managing our relationship, it was clear that they understood how MSPs worked. And a lot of MSP programs are basically they're VAR programs. They're designed for resellers. They're just adding a little bit of language that you can sublicense the product, but they don't really understand the mechanics of how an MSP operates. And they also don't really understand the economics of what it means to deliver a service. So, when you resell a product, you take a margin and really you're done. You're not responsible for all of the care and feeding of that product and its support really through its entire, use case, diversity and life cycle. So what I liked about Appgate is that they understood that they were shifting a lot of the operational responsibility to the MSPs, and they built a program that it both supported that in terms of training and also required that the MSPs demonstrate a level of competency with the product so that they were confident that the end users were going to get a good experience. So all in all, they thought through the program, or they worked with people who helped them understand what it takes to build a successful MSP program. And we didn't have to explain that to them ourselves, which in some cases, we do that and it takes some time and effort and negotiation to get a company that's more used to traditional resale to actually support MSPs in a way that's aligned to the business model.